The Teachings of the Bhagvad Gita. Chapter 11, Vision of the Universal Form. Krishna offers Arjuna a divine vision in this chapter, revealing his universal form, Vishvarupa. Arjuna witnesses the grand cosmic form of Krishna, encompassing all of creation. This form is awe-inspiring, with countless faces, eyes, and limbs. It contains the entire universe, and Arjuna sees gods, creatures, and cosmic forces within Krishna. Overwhelmed by this sight, Arjuna recognizes the immense power and magnitude of Krishna's divinity. He realizes that all paths lead to Krishna and seeks forgiveness for his earlier doubts. The vision strengthens Arjuna's faith, leading him to acknowledge Krishna as the supreme divine being. From Chapter 11, Vision of the Universal Form in the Bhagavad Gita, we can learn several important lessons. 1. Cosmic Unity. The vision of the universal form teaches us about the interconnectedness of all beings and the universe. It emphasizes that everything is part of a greater whole. 2. Divine Power and Majesty. The grand cosmic form of Krishna reveals his divine power and greatness. This highlights the concept of a higher, all-encompassing force that governs the universe. 3. Recognition of divinity. Arjuna's experience showcases the idea that recognizing and connecting with the divine can be overwhelming, humbling, and transformative. It's a reminder of the awe-inspiring nature of spirituality. 4. Pathways to the divine. The chapter suggests that various spiritual paths and practices can ultimately lead to the same divine truth. This emphasizes the diversity of ways in which individuals can approach and connect with the divine. 5. Faith and surrender. Arjuna's initial doubts and subsequent surrender demonstrate the importance of faith and trust in the face of the unknown. Surrendering to a higher power can lead to clarity and inner peace. 6. Seeking forgiveness. Arjuna's realization of his earlier doubts and seeking forgiveness reflects the human tendency to question and waver in faith. It shows the importance of self-awareness and the capacity for growth. 7. Spiritual awakening. The vision acts as a catalyst for Arjuna's spiritual awakening. It highlights the transformative potential of profound spiritual experiences in reshaping one's worldview and understanding. 8. Supreme Divine Being. Arjuna's acknowledgement of Krishna as the Supreme Divine Being underscores the concept of an ultimate reality that transcends human comprehension. It encourages devotion and reverence. Overall, this chapter invites contemplation on the nature of divinity, the interconnectedness of all existence, and the significance of faith and surrender in one's spiritual journey. It teaches us to recognize the presence of the divine in everything and to approach life with humility and awe. Chapter 12, Path of Devotion and Knowledge. In this chapter, Arjuna seeks guidance on whether it's better to follow the path of selfless action, karma yoga, or the path of knowledge, jnana yoga. Krishna explains that both paths are valid but recommends the path of devotion, bhakti yoga, as the quickest and most effective way to attain liberation. He describes the qualities of a true devotee, including humility, patience, forgiveness, and equanimity. Krishna clarifies that one should focus on the divine without getting attached to outcomes, and that practicing devotion with a controlled mind leads to the ultimate realization. He encourages Arjuna to cultivate unwavering love and surrender to the divine. These chapters emphasize the cosmic and divine nature of Krishna, the importance of faith, and the significance of devotion. They offer deeper insights into the various forms and manifestations of the divine and provide guidance on how to establish a deeper connection with Krishna through devotion, knowledge, and surrender. From Chapter 12, we can learn that both the paths of selfless action, karma yoga, and the path of knowledge, jnana yoga, are valid spiritual paths. However, Krishna recommends the path of devotion, bhakti yoga, as the quickest and most effective way to achieve liberation. The qualities of a true devotee, such as humility, patience, forgiveness, and equanimity, are highlighted. The importance of focusing on the divine without attachment to outcomes is stressed, and practicing devotion with a controlled mind leads to ultimate realization. The chapters emphasize Krishna's cosmic and divine nature, the significance of faith, and the importance of establishing a deep connection through devotion, knowledge, and surrender. Chapter 13, Nature and the Soul. In this chapter, Lord Krishna discusses the distinction between the physical body and the eternal soul, and he explains the nature of both. He describes the body as a field and the soul as the knower of the field. Krishna elaborates on the qualities that constitute the field, including the physical elements and the senses, and the qualities that define the soul, such as consciousness and individuality. He talks about the different layers of existence, from the physical to the spiritual, and explains how the interaction between the body and the soul leads to various experiences. Krishna emphasizes that true wisdom involves understanding the difference between the temporary body and the eternal soul. From chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita, you can learn about the distinction between the physical body and the eternal soul. Lord Krishna explains that the body is like a field, while the soul is the knower of the field. He discusses the qualities that make up the body, including the physical elements and the senses, and the qualities that define the soul, such as consciousness and individuality. The chapter delves into different layers of existence, from the physical to the spiritual, and how the interaction between the body and the soul leads to various experiences. Krishna emphasizes that true wisdom comes from understanding the difference between the impermanent body and the everlasting soul. This chapter provides insights into the nature of the self, the essence of existence, and the path to spiritual understanding. Chapter 14, Three Gunas, Qualities. Krishna introduces the concept of the three gunas: sattva, goodness, rajas, passion, and tamas, ignorance, which are the fundamental qualities that influence human behavior and nature. He explains how these qualities shape desires, actions, and even one's understanding of reality. Krishna discusses the effects of each guna on human behavior, highlighting that transcendence of these qualities leads to spiritual enlightenment. He reveals that sattva leads to knowledge, rajas to greed and attachment, and tamas to delusion and ignorance. Krishna encourages Arjuna to rise above these gunas and attain a state of pure, transcendent awareness. From chapter 14 of the Bhagavad Gita, we can learn about the concept of the three gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas, and how they influence human behavior and nature. These qualities shape our desires, actions, and perception of reality. Sattva is associated with goodness and knowledge, rajas with passion, greed, and attachment, and tamas with ignorance and delusion. Krishna emphasizes that rising above these qualities is essential for spiritual enlightenment and encourages transcending them to attain a state of pure awareness. This chapter teaches us the importance of self-awareness, understanding our tendencies, and striving for a higher state of consciousness.